I am Evie, and you are on Antonio's Ideas. How far can humanity go between destruction and rebirth? Let's discover together in this special material. Let's begin. Today, humanity finds itself at the beginning once again. Between destruction and rebirth, between ignorance and consciousness. It is time to return to our inner Garden of Eden, to rediscover our role in creation. This is the story of a choice, of an awakening.
In the beginning, there was infinite darkness, and from that darkness, all things emerged. The appearance of matter from which the entire universe would form is, according to scientists, the so-called Big Bang. I believe that nothing happens by chance.
In a special place in the universe, in the Milky Way galaxy, on a tiny planet called Earth, life developed. Among the vastness of the universe, Terra stands out for the miracle of life, a miracle that pulses through every leaf, every drop of water, and every breath of wind. Nature is not merely the backdrop of human existence, but its source and essence. It is the beginning, the support, and the profound meaning of life on this planet.
Through its subtle balance and silent generosity, nature sustains endless chains of interdependence, binding all beings in a sacred web of existence. To understand nature is to understand oneself, and to respect it is to preserve the meaning of life. Nature is composed of two components, fauna and flora. Fauna consists of all living creatures, from ants to elephants, and we humans are part of the fauna. Flora represents all plant life, from blades of grass to towering trees.
The balance of nature is a sequence of dependencies and interdependencies. A beautiful example is the pollination of flowers. Nature's beauty remains unmatched, and perfection is the defining trait of natural creation, an accomplishment that no one has ever managed to eclipse.
At the dawn of creation, man was appointed not as a despotic ruler, but as a sacred guardian of the work of God's hands. Just as Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden to work and protect it, every human soul bears a lofty calling to care for, to protect, and to uplift the Lord's creation. Every leaf, every breath of wind, every creature moving under the heavens, all are under man's care, he who was shaped from dust and enlivened with spirit. For man is not just a part of creation, but a bridge between earth and heaven, called to live in obedience and harmony, bearing the image of the one who made him. This text is inspired by Genesis, an important book from the Old Testament.
Before any science, humanity discovered religion or spirituality. Throughout history, religion and various spiritual systems have been, are, and will remain an essential pillar in guiding life. Religion or spirituality is part of human nature, and nothing should ever put an end to it. Today, we are freer than ever to choose, but this very freedom hides the danger of excess and madness taken to extremes. What I wish to mention is that man has lost his human sense of being and his role at the center of creation. And so, the man called to guard the garden has forgotten his purpose and has wandered in the desert of greed and misunderstanding. But this is not the end, for deep within his being dwells a divine spark, a living memory of what was and what he is destined to become.
To regain his place at the center of creation, man must be reborn, not from flesh and bone, but from light and consciousness. He must awaken his inner eye, listen to the whispers of earth and sky, and remember that he is not merely an inhabitant of the world, but a co-creator of reality. In this awakening, the collective consciousness pulses, rises, and is purified. Man transforms from destroyer to creator, precisely as intended from the beginning by the God of the Old Covenant. He who wrote the laws of life and balance in the Torah. It is time we no longer hide behind ignorance. The time of calling has come. It is time to return to our inner Garden of Eden, to tend it with wisdom, love, and reverence for life. For when man recognizes his divine essence, the whole world breathes again in harmony.
Allow me to tell you the story of a civilization that forgot its roots. Once, man lived in balance with nature. He hunted only what he needed, cultivated the land with respect, and built shelters from what the environment provided. But with the Industrial Revolution, this balance was broken. Steam, coal, and later oil fueled an explosion of production and consumption. Cities grew, and as a result, forests began to be consumed more and more. Growing populations led to the disappearance of many natural habitats. Another effect being pollution. Rivers were swallowed by pollution, and, in the name of progress, man began to burn the planet. Industrial capitalism transformed nature into a resource to be exploited, and profit became more important than clean air or drinking water. Tropical forests were deforested, oceans filled with plastic, the atmosphere loaded with greenhouse gases and toxic substances for all. Empty promises and the harsh realities of the past, and a recent event in history. In 2015, world leaders signed the Paris Agreement, promising to limit global warming, but the agreement lacked power. Countries continued to pollute, and emissions rose. China, the USA, and India, among the largest polluters, oscillated between commitments and economic interests. Meanwhile, globalized capitalism continued to consume the planet. This is the harsh truth, and this entire material is also a warning. The global economy has grown 12-fold since 1950, and the population has tripled. The demand for material resources is set to double by 2060, while we already consume the resources of 3 Earths. Currently, overlapping crises are reflected in an exhausted planet by an indifferent society focused on the madness of consumerism and the chase for the dwindling resources of a shared planet.
In 2025, the world faces multiple crises: political, economic, climate, and military. The war in Ukraine, or in any other part of the globe, continues to affect supply chains and increases dependence on fossil fuels. All conflicts affect and strain regional and international markets, pushing governments to prioritize security over the environment. In Romania, climate change is considered only a secondary issue, while inflation, taxes, and political instability dominate the public agenda. Globally, large corporations continue to exploit resources without limits, and ecological policies are often merely image campaigns. If humanity does not awaken, the future will be grim.
Temperatures will rise by over 3 degrees Celsius, glaciers will disappear, and sea levels will swallow entire cities. Droughts and floods will become the norm. Food crises will generate massive migrations and conflicts over resources. Biodiversity will be decimated, tropical forests will become savannas, coral reefs will die, and millions of species will vanish. Humanity will live in a poorer, hotter, and more violent world. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges of the 21st century, with profound effects on ecosystems, economies, and human health. These global climate changes are largely the result of human activities that have accelerated natural processes through massive greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and pollution. This is the reality of the present, but we must not panic. Nature still has enough power to heal itself, and humanity can change its way of thinking by developing a new societal model. Nature needs rapid and intelligent interventions. The technology available today gives us a wide range of tools to clean soil, water, and air. Present-day solutions might be a combination of robots, sensors, artificial intelligence, and biotechnologies. For cleaning soil, we could start by installing IoT sensor networks to detect concentrations of heavy metals, pesticides, and other contaminants. Soil sensors can be connected to a cloud platform, and real-time data guide us to the most affected areas. AI-assisted bioremediation could be a super smart solution, using bacteria and fungi to degrade organic pollutants, microremediation and bacterioremediation. An AI algorithm will analyze the chemical composition and suggest the most effective microbial strains for each type of contamination. Drones for distributing amendments will spread biochar, beneficial microorganisms, or absorbent substrates across large areas. These reduce erosion and accelerate the restoration of soil structure. For water cleaning, autonomous robots can be used to collect waste, floating vehicles, drones, or underwater robots that can recover plastic and debris from lakes, rivers, and coastal areas. Special AIs will analyze the types of collected waste. For selective recycling, advanced filters with nanotechnology and nanoporous membranes can be used. These can remove heavy metals and microplastics from water with high efficiency. These filters can be integrated into modular treatment stations, which can be mounted directly at sources of pollution. Monitoring systems with artificial intelligence, underwater cameras, and multi-parameter sensors can constantly monitor water quality, pH, dissolved oxygen, turbidity. An AI dashboard warns in case of anomalies and recommends optimal intervention times. Air cleaning through urban purification towers. These are structures installed in areas with heavy traffic or in industrial zones. They can be equipped with photocatalytic filters that break down noxious substances and other pollutants through reactions with UV light. Systems for capturing carbon directly from the air via compact modules for capturing and storing CO2 can be installed on buildings or in parks. Energy consumption can be reduced by integrating solar power. Drones with particle sensors. These fleets of drones equipped with LiDAR and PM2, 5 or PM10 sensors can map the atmosphere and pollution distribution, providing detailed data to authorities and communities.
How do we start today? At the individual level, we can begin by purchasing a soil sensor and an air quality sensor for the home and garden. The individual cycle ends by sharing data with a Civic-Tech network. At the community level, green hackathons can be organized with students and local startups. For rapid prototyping of cleaning solutions at the institutional level, collaboration between local councils, universities, and technology companies. For piloting mini-modular treatment stations in parks and along waterways. These would be the solutions for the present. And no, this is not a science fiction scenario. If humanity answered the question, what is most important to do? And the answer would be, protecting the environment and life in general. This scenario would not be an exercise of imagination, but an ideal scenario in which humanity, nature, and technology coexist in a terrestrial paradise. The purpose of this material is to awaken as many people as possible to concrete reality. Why not attempt the construction of a continuous, happy, and beautiful present? Today, more than ever, we must face the truth. Man is the key. The key to destruction or the key to salvation. The key that can lock the future in an abyss of degradation or open the gates to a planetary renaissance. We live on an exhausted planet. Resources are dwindling and ecosystems are collapsing, while economic interests and outdated ideologies disguised as wars continue to erode hope. But in the midst of this chaos, there is a choice that only we humans can make.
Dear leaders of this world, your power does not reside only in political or economic decisions. Your power lies in the vision you cultivate and the legacy you leave behind. I implore you, do not look at the planet as a mere warehouse of resources, but as a living organism that nourishes us, sustains us, and loves us unconditionally. It is time to invest not in conflicts, but in healing technologies, not in exploitation, but in education, sustainability, and global cooperation, not in fear, but in the courage to change direction.
Every decision you make can be a seed of regeneration or a deep wound in the body of the planet. Every choice can be a bridge to a future where our children breathe clean air, drink clear water, and live in harmony with nature, or a condemnation to an increasingly toxic present. Therefore, I call upon you not only as a citizen, but as a human being. I urge you to rise to the height of your responsibility and become leaders of hope, not of destruction. You can be guardians of life, not of fleeting interests, for true power does not lie in control, but in caring for life. And the future could be written by those who choose to protect, not just to consume. The end of this material is not a conclusion, but a beginning. A thought of hope and a dream that refuses to die in a not-too-distant future. Humanity and technology can form a harmonious society in which progress means not destruction, but regeneration. It may seem a utopia today, a fantasy in a world dominated by crises and conflict, but it is not at all so. This material is designed to indicate a real possibility for us and the generations to come. A world in which artificial intelligence, innovation, and human consciousness unite to protect life, not to consume it. A world in which technology becomes nature's ally and not its rival. If we plant this dream in our hearts and nurture it with courageous actions, perhaps it will blossom. Because the future is written by the choices we make today,